Discussion starts to flow. Auto news, auto convo, we're in the know. Right news, right convo, let the tide show. Subscribers on the rise. Let's hit that throttle, sharing love. Every like is a powerful coast to coast to coast.
Hello, 1 2. Hi guys, you're once again welcome to the Ryde channel. You know, on the Ryde channel, it's all about cars and motorcycles, and it's always a privilege for me to come to you talking about cars, motorcycles, and all the things in between. And if you are not subscribed to the Ryde channel, please subscribe to all our platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Make sure you are everywhere. Today we bring you a very interesting conversation with some very interesting gentlemen. One you know, one you don't know, but today you get to know him. It's going to be a great day, so make sure you stay glued for the next hour or so. Sorry, we're meant to come to you at exactly 5 o'clock, but we are still figuring things out, and I'm sure very soon we'll have it dialed in just for you to give you the very best information so that you are going to enjoy your motoring experience right here on the Ryde channel. As always, go to our website www.ridechannel.com. read all the interesting stories over there. We are building a great team to bring you the very best, so make sure you grow with us. Thank you. Today we are going to jump straight into the discussion. Very interesting discussion today, and make sure you stay to the very end. I have something special. Yes, so in the studio with me this evening, I'm with regular guests, or should I say he's a co-host. Yes, I'm here with Eko and Selom. Okay, Selom Atachi and Eko Dawson. And Eko is a very special gentleman with some very special talents, and that is why he's here with us today. And we're going to have a very great conversation. So wherever you are, make sure you are connected. Wherever, I mean, we are on Facebook, we are on TikTok, we are on YouTube. So you don't have an excuse. Wherever you are, you can tune into the show. If you want to participate, ask questions, etc., you can do so to our WhatsApp line 020-468-4798. 020-468-4798. Let me put it up on the screen about now. Yes, so make sure you can send voicemails. You can call into the show, whether normal calls or WhatsApp calls. You can send us WhatsApp messages. We will receive it right here on the console, and we'll read them. Participate and be part of the conversation. Yes, so today we are talking about borderless Africa. Now, for those of us who love to drive, and also ride motorcycles, one of the things we like to do is to go on trips. Okay, and it sounds so good when you hear something like borderless Africa. Charlie, I traveled to SA a couple of times with visas. Okay, but the last time I had the opportunity to travel to SA and I didn't need a visa, it was like I was in heaven. I don't know why. The very fact that I didn't need a visa, I don't know. It added something really special to it. I mean, showing up at the border, at the airport, passport check-in, and you look through your passport and you don't need a visa. And say, "Oh, Charlie, come in." So when I hear borderless Africa, yes, it really tickles my fancy, and I think that we're going to have a very good conversation. I mean, chatting with Eko just a little bit, and the tidbits that he's giving me, there's a lot he has to tell us today, and it's going to be a very interesting show. So make sure you stick and stay connected and glued to today's show right here on the Ryde channel. So Salam, you are welcome back to the show. Today the spotlight is not on you. Yes, the spotlight is on Eko. Yes, guys, Eko.
Hi.
Yes, you are welcome to the Ryde channel.
Thank you for
Tell us a little
me.
bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the riders, as I call them.
Okay, so my name is Eko Dawson. I'm a travel and documentary photographer based in the Upper East region, Bolgatanga.
Upper East.
Yeah, Bolgatanga. So most of my works that I've done is in Bolgatanga.
Okay.
Where I photograph people. I work with NGOs as well.
Okay.
Shoot competitive and impactful stories for them to use for their project and all that. So that is the career that I'm on.
Okay.
But aside that, also as part of what I do, I ride across the northern regions and photographing people.
Okay.
And then Africans, mainly for their bone structure, their facial expressions, their skin texture, and their skin tones. So the main idea for what I do is to serve as an archive.
Hey,
so
bone structure, myself, I do a little bit of photography, but this bone structure and things where they told me there, I know they get, so you have to go a bit into details.
Okay, so so most of my photographs focuses on their portrait shots that focuses on how someone looks. You know, their facial look. So when you take someone, it's their bone structure that makes up their face.
Of course.
And then based on, if you take a group of people, how they look like is based on the kind of food they eat. You know, so what I do is as part of the work that I'm doing, I'm trying to archive we as a people. You know, so every photograph that I take in 60, 100 years to come, it will be looked at from a historical point of view, where it will go like, this is how we look like at this point in the human life or in the life of Africans. Because the farther we go into our evolutionary system, we look different. How we look, how Ghanaians looked years back is different from how we look now because of the food we eat.
Okay.
You know, so my work is mainly based on these things.
Okay.
Yeah. So as part of what I do, I go to different communities, and biking has been the most effective and essential means of transportation for me. So I ride to different communities, talking to the community people, photographing them, and then bringing out their essence as a people, and then also sharing their stories, because sometimes you know, people are going through it. You know, we just listen to the stories they have, and then we do our best to archive them. You'll be surprised that you go somewhere and then you meet someone, an older person who doesn't have a photograph. So the photograph that I take of them is the only photograph that shows that they existed
in time.
Exactly. Yeah. So I have a lot of collection of images of people across the northern region that are those images are very special. Some of them I can't post them. You know. So that is what I do.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. I mean, that's awesome work. I mean, when you get to the northern part of Ghana, okay, the air is different.
Yeah.
Even the time is different. It's like BBL slow down.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah.
And your BP just drops.
That's very different for BP.
Yeah, that's very true. You know, lifestyle,
your BP just drops.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you the quality of life people are having in some of these areas is far better than those of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should go to a place like Brongahafo, some parts of Brongahafo.
Yeah.
Like they have so much greens around. The air is really different.
Yes.
I went there one time, and what you're saying is very true. You really have a lot of stress. Once you have something to eat, and because of the farming they do, the food is very fresh, it's heavy.
Yeah.
You are okay, Charlie.
Okay.
Yeah. You know,
okay, like okay soup.
Yeah. You know, and also in the north, so I've been there for a while because I moved from Accra to the north.
Yeah.
You know, so when the seasons are changing, you get to see it. So when it's changing from, let's say, rainy season to the dry season, you could see the greenery turning from yellow to brown. Then you see this, you could see every day you will see a change.
You see a change.
You know, and this makes you aware of yourself and aware of your environment and the people around you.
Yeah. Also. So I mean, what necessitated your move from, I would say, the concrete jungle of Accra to the savannah lands of the north?
So mainly it was because of work.
Okay.
So I went there to do a project there for a month or so. So when I went there, and as you said, exactly as you said, everything slows down. Then I realized that
you're in the wrong place.
This lifestyle suits me.
Okay.
You know, I like to take things slow and you know, be present, have a present life. You know, back in Accra, and everything is on the go.
Yeah.
Go, you know, so when I went there, then later I had the conviction to really finally make that decision to move there. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, if you just tuned in, this is the Right channel, and we are having a very, very interesting discussion. In the studio with me today is our regular my co-host Selovatachi and Eko Dawson from Borderless Africa. Now let's go into Borderless Africa. You can't Borderless Africa. Waiting, cry. We won't make we get from Borderless Africa. Yeah.
So let me start from my perspective, then I'll come to the whole team's perspective. So with me as a travel and documentary photographer, which I said earlier that the goal for me doing this photography work is to archive. You know, so I've done a lot of works in the north. And now I want to spread my wings across Africa, where I'll be able to document and shoot a lot of content and images and photographs across the continent.
Yeah.
So going that, I should be able to travel across Africa, regardless of if I want to fly, if I want to go by the road. You know, I should be able to do that with ease, with no frustration, right? So my friends, my two other colleagues, they came up with the idea of Borderless Africa, you know, and they told me about it, you know, so I hopped on it also to go on it as well.
Okay.
You know, so Borderless Africa is simply a campaign for Africans to be able to move from one African country to the other with ease, with less frustration or no frustration, and then with no form of payment. You know, that is the goal of Borderless Africa.
Okay. All right. So let's jump into your experience. So you decided to tell us about your project.
Yeah. So on 15th of March, that was when we left Ghana.
Okay.
And then we
15th of March 2024
this year. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's when we left Ghana.
Okay.
You know, but my friends, they came from Accra and we met at the border. But with me, I rode all the way from Bogatanga to the Togo border.
Okay.
So I started my journey on the 13th.
Okay.
And then we met on the 15th. You know, so we went through Togo, Benin, Nigeria, and then we spent a lot of time in Nigeria. You know, so we faced a lot of issues in Nigeria.
Okay.
You know, but let me start from the beginning, which is Togo.
Yeah.
You know, so crossing Togo was hell, if I could use that word. Yeah, it was very, very hectic and frustration. You know, so we got to the border around 1 p.m. and then we left there around 5 p.m. getting to 6.
Only Togo.
Yeah, only Togo.
That's Togo, the small one.
Yeah.
Flower border.
Yeah.
Is it at the Ghana side or the Togo side?
The Ghana side was easier because it was easier getting
into Togo.
Getting into Togo. You know, that was where the difficulty is or was. You know, they have something called first entry. You know, so since it's your first time going to Togo, they will quote an amount for you. You know, and you have to pay. And if you don't want to pay, there's no negotiation or there's no argument. They call next. Yeah, if you don't want to pay next.
You know, go pay, I make you go. We don't care.
Exactly. You know, and also another thing that also it's made us a bit skeptical is, you know, inside your yellow fever card. So if you see how COVID became international and there was news that you need your COVID card to cross border.
Yeah.
So the same way with your yellow fever card, it was news that you needed to cross borders. But when you go there and they check your yellow fever card and they don't see CSM, meningitis, they will tell you that you have to go and pay. You have to pay to get that.
Those injection done.
Not even injection. They'll
that certification.
Yeah, that certification inside. But then again, we will tell them that how is it possible when it wasn't a recommendation, because when you check all the recommendations needed to cross to another country, CSM is in part, but at the border they will ask you for it, and if you don't have it in it, then they will quote an amount for you. Yeah, and then crossing with our bikes too, we had to pay something called laissez-passer. So when they quoted an amount called 7,000 CFA. So we had cities then we went to change, and then we came back. Now they are saying 9,000.
So wait, how much is
7,000? So it's less than 100 CD. Yeah, it's less than 100.
So I think
CD.
they did a calculation and wanted 100 CDs.
Yeah.
So you just had to adjust it.
Yeah. That was then. Now the CD has really depreciated, and it even affected our budget. Because getting the Cameroonian visa, as at that time that we did the budget and used it for the calculation, it was 177 euros, and when you convert it, it's almost like 1,008 thereabout. But when we're ready to buy, which was 3 months later, it was 2,700 and some, like 2,700 and something, almost 3,000. So the CD depreciation also affected our budget. Yeah.
Wow.
Togo.
Togo. Yeah, and Togo is very strict.
I mean, for me, I've had experience at Togo before. Way back, I was a kid, so I know say Chalanya Fosa. Yeah.
Togo is very strict. When you are riding around, when you're using your my phone was seized at the border.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you see the Look Twice campaign sticker, right?
Yeah.
So I saw the French version of it. It was on the wall. So I was trying to take a picture and send it to Moto Checker.
Okay.
So the moment I took the picture and I was going, this is how it happened. The police officer came from my back and snatched the phone from my hands. That was what happened. So it had to take Ghana immigration. I had to go talk to Ghana immigration to come speak on my behalf.
Wow.
And even getting the phone back, they have to go through my gallery, see all my images and all that.
For real?
Yeah, they even wanted to go through my WhatsApp messages.
Why? They thought you had
sent it to
you had,
someone?
I don't even know. But it didn't get to that far. But they went through my phone gallery, my images, So when they saw the Look Twice, the French version, and then I showed them the English version, that this is what we do in Ghana. So that is the image that I took. And the funny thing is, they pretend to not understand English, but later you hear them speaking English with other people. So those were some of the challenges that we faced.
Awesome conversation with Eko Dawson about Borderless. Now you say Borderless, you do Nigeria already know Borderless now saying good. So from the Togo border, that is Ghana Togo border, after you've finished everything, how was the transition going? Going to Benin and to Nigeria.
So we spent a week in Togo. Togo is okay.
Wow.
I would say Togo, but we didn't enjoy Togo because the kind of content we wanted to shoot, it was very restricted.
Okay.
Even bringing your phone out to shoot, it's so we just spent a week in Togo. Then moved to Benin. Benin was easier. Benin, we spent less than 5 minutes at the border. We went there. They saw our passport. Oh, you are from Ghana. And then they stamped inside our point of entry. They stamped inside, and then we continue.
Okay.
We spent almost a week, 6-7 days in Cotonou. Cotonou is very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. It looks very orderly. Everyone walks with a helmet.
Wow.
Yeah.
They walk.
Yeah.
Like so they ride around.
There's a rule that you have to wear a helmet, because if you don't, you'll be arrested.
Okay.
So even if you know that you pick Okada maybe during the day,
so you have your own
helmet. Yeah.
So that in case you pick an Okada.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that would be good.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And all.
Yeah.
So from Benin, then from Cotonou, then we went to Nigeria. Crossing Nigeria, with me, because of the stories we've heard about Nigeria, I was a bit tense, but it wasn't like that. We had an easy passage through Nigeria. When we went there, they even asked us, do we want 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days? And then we said we want 30 days because we weren't planning to stay longer.
Okay.
And they don't give weeks. It's month 30, 60, 90.
Okay.
So when we crossed to Nigeria, we contacted a group called Metallic Bull Riders.
Okay.
So they welcomed us into Lagos, and then they introduced us to a lot of biker groups and bikers in Nigeria. We had a little workshop, spoke about Borderless Africa, the goal, what we can do to support it, and all that. So Nigeria was a lot. Nigeria was, I would say, it's like that toxic relationship you are in where you cannot leave and you don't want to stay also. That is how Nigeria is. So we had a lot of bike issues in Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
Because their roads, God.
You see, Ghana roads.
You see the potholes that we have here. Those are that's good. You see, and in Nigeria, one point you are driving or riding on the right, all of a sudden the road switches on, and you being on the right, you come to the left, and then you see cars coming like this on the right.
Wow.
So that is how Nigeria is. And Nigeria is too big, not even too very big.
Very big. Yeah.
So in Nigeria we started processing our Cameroonian visa in Lagos. So they directed us to go to Calabar, and Calabar is like so Calabar was the first capital city in Nigeria, right? So it's like 14 hours away from Lagos. It's like Accra to the north. 14
hours.
Yeah.
That's long.
Yeah.
Me, I used to be at Sokoto State.
That's what it used to be, Sokoto.
It's even far beyond the Calabar State.
Calabar,
That's the northernmost part.
Okay.
And that is even higher up north than Ghana North.
Because
I'm telling you.
go through Abuja before you go there. Abuja is like 2 days away from Lagos.
I used to live in Sokoto.
And I think the movies are not doing that job because of the movies. In my mind, it's like Accra Kumasi.
You see, Ghana, our regions are like 3 hours away, 2 hours away. But Nigeria is like 8 hours away. The least is 8 hours, 6 hours away.
Amazing.
So we go to we go to Calabar, and then we had a lot of bike issues. I dented my rim.
Wow.
My clutch cable got torn. My accelerator cable got torn.
Wow.
So many issues. My friend's bike got the chain got torn. Even we had CDI issue with the other bike. At some point, I had to tow all the bikes with my 200cc. So we got to Calabar, and then we started processing the Cameroonian visa. So we go there we went there, and then so they said Calabar, they don't give visa if you are using the land. So you have to get a plane ticket or a ferry ticket. Then you use that to apply for the visa. And the ferry ticket is expensive. It's like 150,000 CFA. That's expensive.
So hold on. So if you want to go by land, how do you get the visa? Because if they are not giving you
and being where they tell you, you either buy plane tickets or you buy ferry tickets.
So that means you can never cross by land.
By land, yes.
That is.
And so we also got to know that Ghana doesn't have an embassy or consulate in Cameroon. And then there's a bit of insecurity.
In some parts. Of Cameroon.
So the part that we were using was a bit insecure. So I'm thinking that's why it's like that. So we had to get something called I don't know if I should say this, something called a dummy ticket. A dummy ticket, and then to use that to apply. So now we're ready to apply. They said the machine they used to give the visa is broken. They've taken it to Cameroon. They don't know how long it would take for them to bring it back. to fix it, so we should wait, so that was when we decided to detour. So we were three. Two of us decided to detour, and then one of us said he would wait to continue. So already we have spent three months in Nigeria, and we pay for accommodation every day. Hotel or guest house, we pay for it every day or every night. Food, fuel, water, and little stuff. So we pay for all these things every day. So at that point, we had to make a critical decision whether to continue or to detour. So two of us, we decided to detour, and then come through Benin, go through Upper Benin, Burkina, that side. You do a bit of West Africa and then return to Ghana and then re-strategize again and then continue.
Try again.
So we're coming, and then from Lagos to Ghana is like 7-8 hours. So we got to Benin. We got the information that northern Benin is not safe at all. So we shouldn't even try going there. So we continued. So we said they said we should come through Ghana, use Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone. So we planned to come to Ghana. So we're coming to Ghana, and it was raining. It rained all the way from Benin, Cotonou to Ghana.
Wow.
And it wasn't like a drizzling rain.
Like soaking wet,
where when your visor is closed, everything is foggy, and when you open your visor, the rain is hitting your eyes. So that is how deep the rain was. But we still rode through, and then we got to Ghana. The moment we crossed the Togo to Ghana, then my engine broke.
Wow.
Did you see your friends at the Togo border?
No, we didn't we didn't use that border. We used a different border.
Okay.
Because we didn't want that stress again.
Wow.
Wow, your engine just gave up.
The engine just broke.
I'm sure through that.
The bike has been through a lot. Because riding consistently for 8 hours.
Did you buy that bike specifically for this trip, or it's a bike you had for a while?
So I bought the bike 2 years ago for my work in the north, because I travel to different communities to photograph and then to shoot documentary stories and all that. That is why I got that bike. So that bike, I used that bike in all the northern terrains, all the northern regions. I rode from Bogatanga to Mole National Park, which was like 7 hours going, 7 hours coming. I used the Tumu Road. If you know the Tumu Road,
the Tumu Road is more like Sobibo.
I've used the Tumu Road. I've ridden to almost Boko. I've ridden to that part.
And you did all that the 2 years prior, you did it all on one engine.
Yeah, on one engine, the same engine.
Where that engine go walk Niger walk the
3 months. I really tested the bike. With me coming on this trip with this bike, I was a bit skeptical.
I mean, you said the bike is Absonic
AP200.
Absonic AP200, that's 200cc.
Yeah,
it's like an off-road bike. I think I have a picture. Let me put a picture up. That's the bike. Let me take this off. That be the bike. Absonic AP200. Yes. And the other guys, what bikes were they on?
So my other guy used the Honda Transalp 400, and then the other one used the Honda African Twin 660, the 1991.
Oh, okay. This Transalp, that's a 650.
Yeah. No, this is a 400.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never seen a 400 Transalp before.
It's rare. It's a rare type. So that's a 400.
Wow.
I hope his engine didn't break.
No. So, but this bike told all of them. It told them with their back box and side box. We tied the rope. I tied it to my back and then to their back, and then I just told them where they couldn't move.
Wow. Awesome experience. Interesting stories. Charlie, then if you say the Absonic, he showed them one or two things.
The bike has been amazing, so one thing I also realized about the bike is that because I rode in Ghana, when I was using in Ghana, I didn't ride continuously for 6 hours or 7 hours.
Okay.
On this trip, I did the lowest that I could do 8 hours ride, with this bike. The only breaks that we had was refuel, and then we continue. So you wake up early in the morning, you set off. The next time that you have to settle down is in the evening. So at some point the bike wouldn't even go past 100. So you have to let the bike breathe. So you decelerate, you slow down, you go to a lower gear, and then you try and pick up again. Then it will now come up again and go more than 100.
Wow. I think the bikes tell more stories because
Nka bike ni kasa on.
Because you see, it being able to do, I'm not really good at bikes. Okay, I'm not learning. Eddie is teaching me. And so for the bike and I know with bikes they are way different from cars. Not only in their physical,
but the handling.
The handling,
the physics.
Physics, good. Yeah. I know they are way different. So for it to be able to do like 8 hours straight, like that is something.
That
is something.
Wow. So the bike I think the bike has a lot of potential, but at the same time too, if you are going on this trip and you see, the advantage about this bike is it's light, and to enjoy a trip like this you need to travel light. So when we get on the rough roads and they are struggling to go through the manholes, no potholes, manholes and stuff like that, with me I'm just going through, and there's a part where when you're going to Calabar, there's a part where it's 2 hours of rough road.
Like constant
2 hours. Constant rough road.
And the riders, or shall I say, when you were riding, was there at any point like the way we do in Ghana? Most riders in Ghana, when they see that the road is rough, they just try to find a path that is a bit like
sometimes there's no
let me blow your bubble. So that rough road, you are competing that road with tankers because it's a main tank road with tankers, with tipper tracks. So
you have to be very careful.
So even I'll be putting some videos out, and in those videos you see me go in between two tracks.
Okay.
Wow.
On that rough road. You see, so that's how bad it is. And unlucky for us, when we were returning, it had rain.
So it turned to mud.
So you get to a point, the road is just slippery mud. You get to a point, it's gravels mixed with water and all mixed with all those things.
I understand why you dented your rim. Because it would be very, very
and even at some point the highest speed you could do is 40.
I think that just elongates the journey.
It makes it longer.
Something that you could use, say, like 30 minutes to cross, and I use about 1 hour, 30 minutes.
And what I heard about that road is that they said it's the intercontinental African road or so. So that's what they are constructing. No, it's under construction.
It's under construction. All right.
It's under construction.
Yeah, let's hope that we get to finish it before 2030.
On this trip, the only thing I haven't ridden through is fire and snow.
And you've gone through a lot.
It's only fire and snow.
And I feel, wow.
So if my helmet could speak, it would tell you about the story, the things I've been telling myself to continue.
Wow.
Wow. See, at some point your hands will get stuck. You'll be so stiff.
You get stiff fingers.
You have to stand on the bike and then you move.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Because I was thinking about it, that with their kind of journey, where are they going to put their equipment and the luggages?
So
everything is on the bike.
So if you look at the pictures, so I put up a picture right now. The bikes they used, his bike is an off-road bike, and they have the panniers, the bags on the side. So it has panniers, one on each side. Then you have the one
back,
at the back box. Yes. and the other guy also has panniers. He doesn't have a back box.
No, he has a back box, but no panniers.
Oh, the Transalp.
No, the Honda, the African Twin. He has a back box.
Okay.
So with him, he also went light.
Oh, okay. He's not in this picture.
Yeah,
This picture is the Transalp. You and the Transalp.
Yeah. We couldn't get that time. The African Twin wasn't that ready.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why we couldn't get that picture.
That picture. Okay. Awesome. So they put everything, in those boxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like boys know the joke. And you see, it's apart from that, it's very, very expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, I mean, those boxes, if you buy an original,
Yeah.
it won't cost you less than $1,000 for a set.
Yep.
Yes. So when you see the guys riding in town with the boxes,
Yeah.
$1,000
I am one of those people that before I met you, okay, I was one of those people who always had this thought that if you have a motorbike, everything about the motorbike is cheap.
it's cheap.
Oh, I did you not. I had that mindset.
It's not just
that,
you.
Not just you.
Everything about a bike is cheap.
Yeah.
Till the other time, Eddie was telling me that one helmet can cost like $1,000.
Yeah. A good one.
$1,000, cry. Just a normal, a normal price.
Yeah.
You are buying the exotic ones.
The fiber,
Okay,
the reinforced fiber.
Even that safe. You can get those high quality one for $300, $400 up to. But there are some particular ones, maybe replica.
Yeah.
Maybe Valentino Rossi replica. Massa.
Yeah.
Already know the brand
name.
itself. That brand itself. If you have something like AGV helmets are not cheap.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are very high quality. They are good.
Showy.
They are nice. Showy, massa. Showy.
And I think you mentioned what you know, Ryde or
Yeah. All right. Those ones you anything that who send go for share
Yeah. No by hearts.
All right. Showy. You see people wear rough. Schubert. You see people wear rough. Oh, massa. Yeah, because solid. And the people who buy them, they will tell you that Charlie, they are the ultimate. They are very, very high quality. Then we'll come to the replica ones. So if you have an AGV Rossi replica or Danny Pedrosa or Marquez, Massa, even an original replica, quarter 3K USD.
I'm going to say 3,000 Ghana cedis.
3,000.
Nah, $1,000. I said Brooklyn Ghana cedis.
Honestly, I just repented when we had that. I was just thinking that everything bike is cheap.
Yeah.
Haven't you seen that viral artwork that says get a motorcycle so that you don't have money for drugs?
It's true.
Yeah, because if you are into bikes, you are crazy into bikes, massa. You won't have money for drugs.
Yeah.
The time of the
No. You won't have money because money is buying.
stuff.
Yeah. If your fender is broken right now, another money. Your chain.
Eddie was telling me another time about even the what's it called?
The gloves.
The gloves
Yeah.
and all these things.
Yeah.
Wow.
And these things, you need these things to protect you, because the higher the quality, the effective it is on your skin. Because you don't want to ride an expensive bike and wear cheap clothing.
Yeah.
You get. So all these things go hand in hand. So the like riding a 1250 bike and then wearing, let's say, a $300 helmet, it doesn't make sense, because the faster you are going, the more impact
protection you need.
and the more protection you need.
Yes. Then again, when you buy the bike, also you have to accessorize it. You get it.
Like the boxes you guys are talking
Exactly, like the boxes. So if you are going on a trip like that,
Crash bars.
you need crash bars. Okay. You need extra lights because sometimes you might not get to your destination before night falls and you have to travel in the night. So you need extra lights. Extra light.
You have to put lights everywhere.
You have to put light everywhere such that when you are coming, people think that it's an airplane coming, so they clear off the road.
Even daytime, your light has to be on.
Yes.
So drivers incoming can see
you, especially in the dust.
Yeah.
Then again, sometimes you might need, because you don't want you need a GPS, a very good GPS unit.
Comfortable seats for your bum.
That's what I'm saying. So you need a special seat so that you won't get cramps in your bum. You if your bike does not come standard with heated grips, you need to fit that. You want your GPS, you want your phone,
phone
and all the other accessories to be charged. So apart from the mounts, you need to charge them. Charge them.
Exactly. All
you
these
know,
things.
You want a bigger,
visor or
so that windscreen, so that the wind, because if the wind is a lot, it will weigh on you so much that you get tired.
Let me even make an example. So starting the bike trip, I didn't have the windshield on my bike because it didn't come with the bike. So I suffered a lot, especially when we were on the highway. So in Togo we went through Parliament, to the border, so, and that is a good stretch of road, and it was under construction also. So it's like they are on the last stage of construction. So the road is smooth throughout, so at some point my chest was on my tongue because of the wind.
So you have to duck
through, so it passes over you.
Exactly.
You have to duck
because exactly. So when we go to Nigeria, see, whatever you want in Nigeria, they will create it for you. So I had to create a windshield and they made a very nice form, fitted well, that fits on my my dashboard, the front of the bike, and then it helped me so well, so when
only for the bike to come and then you will kaput for for Ghana border.
So you have to actually do that to help.
It really says, so you could feel the difference.
You could feel the difference.
It even helps in the speed. Because now you're able to cut through the wind.
Proper.
And how about, I've always had this question. So for most bikes, you have to sit up up straight like this. But for someone like me, after a while, I just bend my back a bit, and that if I don't have a backrest, is very very.
So if you buy a very good
jacket,
it will have protection at the lower back.
Okay.
It will have it at your back, and it tapers as if it's coming into your spine. Very good. So it will force you to sit upright. Yes.
With me also, I had aside the
you had a band.
I had a band. It was a metallic.
There are some metal splines in it.
That was like this. That was just for my back. Then I'll put on my jacket that had also that thing.
The back protector.
So you cannot bend. It will not allow you to bend.
It will automatically hold you up. Yes.
Hold you up. And when you're tired, you stand. You get when you're tired, you stand on the bike and then you go.
It's like traveling on the bus. If you travel on the bus from here
to the north,
you get to a place you have to stand.
You have to stretch your legs.
So you stand in the bus. Even plane crash. We'll be 1919. Yes. Interesting.
All this.
See, so with me personally, I have little faith in everything, except my work, or if it has to do with external stuff, I have little faith in it. That like I have to see things to understand for me to be able to believe in it. You get. But on this trip, my faith really increased. My faith went high.
That's good.
Because at some point we had mechanical issue. It was in the middle of nowhere, bushes around. It was getting dark. It was about to rain in Nigeria.
Nowhere but Nigeria.
And and you don't know when the next town is.
You're new there. You don't know anywhere there.
Exactly. So these are some of the things that tested us. Okay, well, let me speak for myself though. These are the things that tested me, my faith. Because at the end of the day, you see, like, Charlie, what if something happens? But you also it will force you to start thinking positive. Because you know that.
Right. All right, guys, very, very interesting conversation right here on the Ryde channel. You can join us in the conversation 0204684798. We just have a few more minutes to go, and I just have a few more, poking questions to give to a call. So if you have not done so already, please share the link. Yes, you can also go to our website and read all the interesting stories from our website, RydeChannel.com, and it's all about cars, motorcycles. So you will have stories about new releases, car information. You know, we have this story about Okada rider versus motorcyclist. There's a difference.
I have a story about that.
Yeah, there's a difference between an Okada rider and a motorcyclist. So in that story I wrote, I juxtaposed the two. Until they all kind level.
You know, if you are an Okada rider,
So go to www.ridechannel.com, read all the information. We're also on all social media platforms, so make sure you follow us so that the channel will grow. We get access to big people like Echo, so big people like Echo, so that we can bring you more interesting and intriguing conversations right here on the Ryde channel. Yes, let's go back to the conversation. Echo, so all this was towards advocacy for a borderless Africa. What would you say you have been able to achieve since your return to Ghana?
So as part of what we wanted to do, we wanted to document the processes that we went through at each border, what every African goes through at each border, and then put it out there. Because there are certain things that Africans don't know. So especially in West Africa, do you know that you have at least 30 days in every country, in every West African country, that you have to go through? Like, there's a treaty that has been signed where our head of state have agreed to it for we ECOWAS citizens to go through. But most of the time, it's not like that. You have to pay to go through these borders. You know, so these are informations that people don't know. So in Nigeria, we the first week in Nigeria, we did a bike trip from Lagos to Ilorin, which is like 6-7 hours away. So when we went there, we had a little workshop conversation where we talked about the effectiveness of Borderless Africa. Is it really effective? Will it be really effective, or should it be Borderless Africa or Visaless Africa? Because sometimes crossing the borders, we realize that a lot of the common things that people were saying was that we've not had any order from above, so we cannot do this thing, you know. So it means that a lot of the things that we are facing at our borders is just position of power. You know, the power has to transcend down to them for them to be able to obey, you know. So that is where a lot of things are coming from. So during the workshop, people share their views, people share their knowledge on what they think Africans can do to help mitigate systems that will help them go through various borders of each country. You know, so we're able to share that. So a lot of people also didn't know that you have at least 60-90 days to enter a country in West Africa. You know, people didn't know this information, you know. So we were able to educate people, and also I don't know if I should say this, our Ghana card cannot take you through the border.
I just cleared my throat.
No, but it's early days here. It's early days here. Oh, the Ghana card catch 4 years.
Oh, we go fatal. Past 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. At least if you approach it, but now be do Ghana airport and say, if let's say you are Ghanaian, right, and you jackpot, and now you're on British passport or US passport, but the last time you came, you got yourself a Ghana card. Next time you're coming, you don't need a visa. When you can get to the airport, you go do something. Yeah.
You know, because you show them your Ghana card and they'll say,
I don't know what
they don't know, like they don't care.
I think that money make us money.
Yeah, they don't care
because that's the only way they can.
They make some money.
They'll ask you passport.
Before Roger.
Also, they have to stamp you. They have to give you stamp of entry.
Yeah.
You know, so all these things play a role. You know, and you know, so also traveling with a vehicle. You know, what are so yeah. Another thing also, this is a bit twist of events. So in Nigeria, we we had to buy a bike. We bought a bike in Nigeria, the African Twin.
Oh, okay.
We bought it in Nigeria, registered in Nigeria. So another twist of event that happened was now we are trying to push this boundary where, so my friend dad is continuing, right? So we are pushing, he's pushing this boundary where a Ghanaian with a Ghanaian passport
Riding on a
Nigerian
registered bike
registered in his name
in Nigeria.
What are the limitations?
yeah,
what are
yeah.
the processes he will
Was
go
able to
through?
do that?
Oh, of course. Why
Yeah.
not?
So exactly.
Before you both come, can I know if you buy car?
Okay.
Yeah, so that is the boundaries we are trying to push, where a Ghanaian with a Ghanaian passport who bought a bike in Nigeria, registered it in Nigeria, but registered it in his name as a Ghanaian, and then traveling across different African countries and seeing what it will like, the processes he has to go through, you know. So these are another twist of event that happened, you know.
Awesome conversation. So, Echo, what next? What next?
Yeah, so being in Ghana right now, it's not the end of the trip for us.
Awesome.
So it's to re-strategize.
I like to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that.
So it's to re-strategize.
Yes.
So yeah, the goal is to re-strategize and then continue with either with a different bike or continue change my engine and then continue the journey, because we have to finish the journey. You know, so we have some few limited days here in Ghana to re-strategize, seek for sponsorship, and because now we have proof of concept, we have clear ideas and know where the limitations are. So we'll be seeking for sponsorship to continue, and then going forward also for me personally as a photographer. After this whole event and all this thing, I'll be having an art exhibition where I'll be putting together all the images that I was able to shoot during this trip across the various African countries and the various African tribes, put them together, and then people will come and see, because the early part of the trip that we did, I've shot, but I've not posted any of them.
Okay.
It's for a particular reason, because these images are very special, and they are for a particular purpose. So I'll be putting them out there during the art exhibition at the end of the trip, so people will come see, wow, so this is how Africans look like.
Okay.
So because there's a lot of we don't really know ourselves as Africans, you know. We don't really know ourselves.
Okay, so there are two more questions where I won't fire give you.
Okay.
Number one, what was that particular event that happened and you were like, I don't die finish. What was your lowest moment on the trip?
As a team or as an individual?
Individual.
Okay, so so when we're going, the moment I had a dented rim, right, I was devastated, because the tire is the
what holds the bike up?
Exactly, it's what holds the bike up, you know. So we when my rim dented, I started panicking, you know. I was like, what is going to happen next? Because when I even rode it for a bit, no, it wasn't, because it was too wobbling and I could fall, you know. And we were like, it was more like 6 hours more or 5 hours more to our destination.
Wow.
You know, so and there wasn't any mechanic around, so I had to struggle, manage the bike a bit, keep going till we see a mechanic. We saw a mechanic, and then he had to use
fire and
no, he didn't even have fire.
Wow.
he had metal and then some stuff, metal and wood. He put the wood on the rim, boom, boom, boom. He hit it very hard, thinking that he made it worse. He made it worse. He broke spoke.
Oh,
yeah, and yes, you know, he broke like 2 or 3 spokes.
Wow.
You know, and that was one of my lowest moments. You know, and I was thinking, so what is next? What is next? You know, and then in Lagos, you know, in Lagos also there are good people called Agbero boys in Ghana who say Kwashe boys. Yeah, they show us shaky sport.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very aggressive. like almost 6 or 7 guys surrounded us. You know, like it was very aggressive.
But you didn't know you were Ghanaians, like you were.
No, so apparently that is so they do that. They see so the Nigerians are very smart, very very smart. Like they see your demeanor.
You know you are Ghanaian.
Yeah, like they know you're not from here. They see how you move, you know, and stuff like that. So they try to
Intimidate you.
Yeah, you know. So those Agbero boys, so I say this for
Okay. So Eko, what would you say was your nicest moment? Something that happened, you were like, wow, I'm happy to be alive today.
You mean that day?
Yes, that day.
yeah. I've met amazing people, you know, and part of what increased my faith in people is we met random people who hosted us, and with these people don't know us, we don't know them. We just met the same day. We're just talking, and then they said they will host us in their house. These people have families and wives, you know, and they hosted us, fed us, gave us a place to stay, the 3 of us, you know, and that was a beautiful moment for me, you know. And one of the bikers called Ezekiel Sobande, he was also Nigerian. Yeah, he really helped us. He whatever we needed. He has a family. He has a work. He's working also, but he was always at a phone call if we needed him. You know.
Okay. Ezekiel
Sobande. Yeah.
I know the bikers, they all have nicknames. So
Mr. Kel.
Mr. Kel.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mr.
Kel, wherever you are.
Yeah.
We just want to say thank you from the Ryde channel and all Ghanaians.
So
you be the guy. You be the guy.
Yeah. So with him, you remember I told you that going to Nigeria I was tensed. So when I met him and the love he showed us, it calmed me down.
Oh, okay.
You know, I became a bit more calm in Nigeria. You know, and then in Calabar, you know, also I met amazing people in Calabar. I love Calabar. Calabar is amazing.
Yeah.
It's
the Nigerians, they say the Calabar people, they are comedians. They are very very.
The Calabar people make you laugh. And you know, they are amazing. Calabar is an artistic town.
Yeah.
Okay. The moment you enter the town, you'd see like this. Welcome. This is Calabar, the people's paradise. You know, their runabouts have a lot of artistic works on there. They have a place called Tinapa, where it's like a
big market.
No, it's
like an art market.
You see, the closest thing that I can put it to is like Disney World.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like a playground sort of.
Yeah, sort of. You know?
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So that is how
Tinapa or Tinapa.
Tinapa. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Like with the Ghanaian fish.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and so I met amazing people that were very supportive. So my faith in people really increased. You know, I enjoyed people's company and then stuff like that. You know, so those were part of the moment that I realized, it's happy regardless of everything. This trip was worth it, you know, because of what the people have showed me, you know.
Awesome conversation. So the last question, I would say it's a question. If people want to reach you, support Borderless Africa, where can they do that?
Yeah, so my Facebook page is Revving Through Africa. Yeah, that's my Facebook page. Okay. And then my Instagram page is echo.dawson.
Okay.
You know, so that is my
echo.dawson.
EKOW.
That's on Instagram.
Yeah, and then Facebook is Revving Through Africa.
Revving Through Africa.
Yeah, that is the page. You know?
Okay, all right. And so have you decided what you're going to do next with Borderless Africa?
Yeah, so the campaign still goes on. We are still campaigning for a Borderless Africa because we need Africans to know ourselves. Yeah. You know, we need to be able to integrate with ourselves and then understand it, because there's a lot of disparities. You know, there's a lot of differences and all sort of things. That is what brings all this instability. You know, so if we get to know and understand ourselves, it will be better for us.
Awesome.
You know,
awesome.
So one thing I want to say is
go ahead.
This is not a shade to Nigerians, but Nigeria, I think Nigeria has good, like, okay food, but they have a naming problem. You know, they have a naming problem. So you see, this food is exactly like our palava sauce, the contemporary palava sauce. They call it melon soup, and I've had countless arguments. How is this thing soup?
I'm sure it was Agushi.
Yeah, that is too.
Yeah, you know,
I'm sure because of that.
how is this thing soup? Because
Yeah.
you cannot drink it. You know, you need to drink soup.
Yeah.
Well, some kind.
Some kind.
Yeah, you need to drink soup. But you know, they call it soup, melon soup.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing food. And
Yeah.
so with that sauce, it's mostly eaten with swallow.
Yeah.
Right. But if you want to eat it with rice, you pay more for it.
Yeah.
I don't, you know,
You don't get it.
You don't get it.
If you don't get it,
Forget
about it. All right, that's a good note to end the show. A good note to end the show. Yes, I just want to say thank you to a call for coming in. When I heard the story, he was introduced to me. I said, no, I gotta have him on the show. You know, Salam, thank you so much for being a brother and tagging along. It's not been easy doing this in Ghana, you know.
at all.
Yeah.
Actually,
For those of you that are watching, I just want to say thank you. Make sure you share and encourage other people to watch, because it's not easy doing this, but we take it as a duty to do what we do. Okay, go to our website www.ridechannel.com. read all the stories in there. If you want to sponsor us, if you want us to collaborate and do something that will push your product, or you want to push us, we are always welcome. If you want to join the team as well, you can reach us on our WhatsApp line 020-468-4798, or just ridechannel@gmail.com. Okay, or you can leave a message on the website as well. I'm going to see it live and I'm going to respond. Okay, so thank you guys, and I just want to say bye for now.
Here we go, right channel, where the passion starts to flow. Auto news, auto convo, we're in the know. Right news, right convo, let the time show. Subscribers on the rise, let's hit that throttle, share